New Japan ran a show Friday night against SmackDown in Garland, Texas. It is a building they've ran before, and I'm just gonna get it out the way. Horrible attendance. This is a 8,500 seat building, and I believe they set up for like 3,000, maybe 2,000. They had maybe a couple hundred people. Um, and that sucks to say, but they ran that building before because they've had shows in this building before. The attendance was not good either on those shows either. So why they chose to run this building again is beyond me. I and this show had Moxley on it. This show had Moxley, Zack Sabre Jr., Shingo, Mike Bailey, Tama Tonga, Kushida, Eddie Kingston, Mayu Iwatani, and they had a couple hundred people. I don't understand. Maybe it was just like a voting thing, but like I said, they ran that building before, and it didn't go well. So why book it again? The seats around ringside were filled up, and I think maybe like the first 3 rows of the stands had people in it. So just awful crowd. But the crowd does not dictate if the show was good or not. It was a good show. They progressed storylines towards Wrestle Kingdom, which is a huge plus. So you need to do that. Your biggest show of the year. You know, it is literally the 4th day of a new year, but I digress. Yeah, some good matches, some questionable stuff, like why the fuck is Joey, and talk about that. We'll save it. Save it. But before we get into the show, I want to talk about World Tag League real quick, because the day I'm recording this, they've announced the blocks for World Tag League 2023. So here we go. A block has Shota Umino and Red Narita. They've been teaming up lately, so this is good. Tomohiro Ishii, Toru Yano of Chaos, Great Khan, and Hanare of United Empire, which is interesting because usually the tag team is Okan and Jeff Cobb instead of Hanare. But they're going with Hanare and Okan. I don't know if Cobb's injured or not, or they just decided just to go with Hanare here. I don't know. Mikey Nichols and Shane Hayes of Team DK, Alex Coughlin and Gabe Kidd of Bullet Club, Evil and Yujiro Takahashi of Bullet Club House of Torture, Kaito Kiyomiya of Noah, and Yohei Owa of Noah also. I don't watch Noah, so I don't know who these guys are. Actually, the Kato guy, I believe, is the one who did the G1, had that beef with Okada, right? I believe that's who that is. And then you have Bishop Khan and Toa Leona of AEW, which is cool to see. Other companies being involved. Got a team from Noah and AEW in this block, which is cool to see. And then just looking at the A block, I'm just gonna choose Mikey Nichols and Shane Hayes. They're the team that's been teaming the longest, and I think they're due for a title opportunity. B block. B block, you have Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, Yuji Nagata, Minoru Suzuki, Hikuleo and El Phantasmo, Taichi and Yua Uemura, Yota Tsuji and a mystery partner, Atlantis Jr. and Sobrano Jr. from CMLL, Lance Archer and Alex Zane, Monster Sauce. And this one's a cool one. Bad Luck Fale and Jack Abanza. And you guys are listening to this, you're probably like, who the fuck is Jack Abanza? Well, Bullet Club has many sub-factions, right? You have the sub-faction of WWE with Styles, Anderson, and Gallows and Mae Young. You have the sub faction of AEW, Jay White, Juice Robinson, and the Guns. Then you have the sub faction of House of Torture. Well, Bullet Club has another sub faction in Australia. But you do. Yeah, they do. And Jack Bonza is a part of said sub faction in Bullet Club. This is really a bad luck Fale of sub faction because he's the one who orchestrated this whole thing. So that's pretty cool. To see that finally, because this has been a thing for a while now, like the Australian Bullet Club. This has been a thing for a while. I don't think we've ever seen them in Japan, to my knowledge, at least. So this is pretty cool to see, and I hope we get to see more of them because I believe there's Tommy Flip, Stevie Flip, Caveman, and somebody else. I'm forgetting who the other guy is, but there's 5 of them, I believe. Bullet Club Australia, so that's pretty cool. Pretty cool of them. And looking at B Block, I think the safe answers is Goto and Yoshihashi. Maybe the second best option is Hikuleo and Phantasmo. You're not gonna have CMLL team win. You're not gonna have a Noah team win or an AEW team win. So I don't know. Pretty up in the air tag league, but a lot of representation. Like I say, you got a team from Noah, CMLL, AEW. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see all this. But that is the World Tag League lineups. So let's get into Lone Star Shootout. Got 2 pre-show matches. Matt Vandegrift versus Barrett Brown. I've never seen Barrett Brown before, to my knowledge. I saw Vandegrift for the first time last week. Vegas show they did. Vandegrift is very impressive, and he impressed me more in this match. I think he has a lot of potential. One of the best 450 splashes in the game right now. Beautiful 450 splash. And Vandegrift wins. Brown was just there for me. Hopefully, I can see him some more to get a real opinion on him. Second pre-show match was Tom Lawler versus Fred Rosser. And I'm just going to be honest, I haven't been watching Strong consistently, like ever. But now since I'm doing these reviews, I'm going to do so. I'm going to know like what's been going on and shit. So apparently, Lawler and Rosser have been, feuding. And this came to a culmination. Lawler and Fred Rosser. Very physical, hard-hitting match. Pretty good. Hands down the best Fred Rosser match I've seen. I've seen a few of his matches in Japan. Well, not in Japan, because he's never... This guy needs to get some opportunities in Japan instead of New Japan Strong. This guy needs to go to Japan. I know Lawler's been over there because he did the G1 last year or the year before that. One of those G1s. But these two need to get more opportunity in Japan. Bring Team Filthy over. Something. But Rosser does win. And him and Lawler shake hands afterwards. So I guess they wrap this up. I don't know what to expect going forward between these two guys, except I just want them to get opportunities in Japan. Something. Put them in the New Japan Rumble. Or something. I don't know. I just want to see these guys in Japan. Rosser has worked his ass off. And Lawler's good. Fly him over, please. Next, we had a 6-man tag match. Rocky Romero, Hechicero, and Ultimo Guerrero. I hope I said Hechicero's. It's my first time seeing him. Versus Mascara Dorado, Tiger Mask, and Atlantis. Very CMLL vibe to it because most of these guys are, not even most of these guys, all these guys work CMLL. So just say CMLL. I'm gonna have a stroke saying over and over again. But listen, Dorado was the highlight of this match by far. Tiger Mask was just there. Atlantis was just there. Everybody else was just like there for me, but Dorado is very good. Hopefully he could challenge Rocky for that what is that belt? The cruiserweight belt for CMLL? I don't know. I can't remember. But Dorado hits a shooting star press for the win to get his team the victory. Now, this next match was Toru Yano, a glorified comedy wrestler for New Japan, versus Joey Janela. For some reason, they booked Joey Janela versus Toru Yano in a hardcore match. For what reason? I have no idea. And this shit was bad. Yano does his turnbuckle spots. You guys know Yano tries to undo the turnbuckles and use them as a weapon in the match, etc. Janela, Janela's always down to do some goofy shit. Because that's just him. This motherfucker's all about doing goofy shit. And you have a dude who's down to do all this crazy shit. And you have a comedy wrestler like Yano. You're just gonna get a clusterfuck. I'm sorry, this shit was ass. This match sucked. Bunch of turnbuckle spots. Comedy hardcore match. At one point, Janela got tied up around a chair. And he low blowed Yano. And the ref just helps Janela get untied. Since when can the ref do something like that? Help a wrestler out. What? Now I know they do the thing where the wrestler gets tied up in the ring ropes. They help him get out, but if somebody no, you don't untie Janela from the chair. That's cheating. You're helping the guy get out of this situation that was purposely done by the other guy. I just thought that was stupid. Then Yano gets his hands tied, and he low blows Janela twice, rolls him up for the win while his hands are still tied. The ref didn't help Yano get his shit untied during the match. He waited until after the match to help untie him. Now, this shit was stupid. The fact that this match was even a thing. Toru Yano and Joey Janela. Why is Joey Janela getting booked by New Japan? Of all places. I'm sorry. I've seen Janela have a good match here and there. You look at Janela and you're just and you picture him in New Japan? Sorry, but this shit was ass. TJP's backstage. He cuts a promo on Mystico, calls him the crown jewel of CMLL. Says he had a lot of respect for him for their match later tonight. Next, we had Bullet Club's Chase Owens, Alex Coughlin, Gabe Kidd, and Clark Connors versus Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, Kushida, and Kevin Knight. I don't really see the tie-ins for Wrestle Kingdom here between these two teams, but just a match for the show. It's fine for what it was. Boy, listen, I will tell you what, that finish was sick. Connors hits a wicked spear in midair on Kevin Knight. And Connors and Coughlin hit a tag team move together to get the win. And they beat Kevin Knight. But that spear by Connors was insane. And it looked fucking awesome. It sucks to see Kevin Knight get pinned because I think he's really good and has a lot of potential. But for a match that has no correlation towards Wrestle Kingdom and just a match for the show, that finish was awesome. I can watch Connors do that spear all day. It's so good. But Bullet Club does get the win. Now, as far as the land scheme, bigger picture towards Wrestle Kingdom, I don't think Bullet Club should have won here. because what happened at the end of the show, it made it pretty obviously that Tama Tonga's team should have won here to keep Tama Tonga looking strong. But he didn't get pinned, so I guess it's okay. Next, we had the West Coast Wrecking Crew. Royce Isaacs and Jarrell Nelson challenging El Fantasma and Hikuleo for the Strong Tag Team Championships. Again, I'm just be honest, it's just my opinion. This was not a good match. Probably one of the lesser matches I've liked that Phantasmo's in. And it's hard because I love Phantasmo. It's hard to make me not like a match that Phantasmo's involved with. He's he's one of my favorite guys over there. But this was just not doing it for me. I don't know if it was just because of Nelson and Isaacs, because and maybe it's just a me thing, but when I look at Nelson and Isaacs, I don't look at them and be like, oh, yeah, they're definitely a tag team. I just don't look at them like that. They don't come off to me as a tag team. They don't look good together. They don't like. It just doesn't work for me. This match was just not. It didn't work for me. Jumpstart. Isaacs did a lot of spots to show off his strengths. Like carrying Phantasma around the ring and all that kinds of stuff. Isaac hits a low blow on Hikuleo, and then hits him with a belt shot. And they go to hit Phantasmo with the belt, but Phantasmo ducks, and it just backfires, and Phantasmo pins Isaacs with this pile driver. You get the dub for Phantasmo and Hikuleo, so they retain their titles. Thank God. The one positive I'll say is Phantasmo and Hikuleo won and retained. Right decision, my opinion. Next, we had TJP and Mystico. Didn't go too long. Mystico predominantly just most of this match. TJP got very, very little offense, but that's just what it seemed like to me. But in the end, Mystico taps out TJP with a Fujiwara armbar, and Mystico gets the win. This was a special attraction match. That's what New Japan likes to call random singles matches, is special attraction matches. And look, for the Texas audience, Mystico, he just did something with the Houston area. But I don't even think we see Mystico that often in Japan. I feel like he just does stuff more affiliated with the Strong brand. But I guess when push comes to shove, you just can't beat Mystico. It sucks for TJP to eat the pin because he just did win Super Junior Tag League. Just beat him, and you just have Mystico beat him. I don't really like that. I don't care if it's Mystico or not. I don't care he's like most famous luchador in Mexico right now. You can't have TJP win a Super Junior Tag League and turn right around and have him get beat by Mystico. This could have just been anybody else other than TJP. It's whatever. Next, for the Strong Openweight Championship, Satoshi Kojima versus Eddie Kingston. Now, this match did not go long as well. Pretty basic Eddie Kingston match, in my opinion. Eddie wins with a Northern Lights bomb over Kojima. He retains his title. Again, right decision. Good decision there. Now, here's where things get interesting. So, Gabe Kidd, Bullet Club, jumps Eddie Kingston after the match. Basically just calls him out and wants the title shot, right? I don't know how I feel about this. I really don't, because I like Gabe Kidd a lot. I think he has a lot of potential to be somebody in wrestling business. He's full of energy, super charismatic. He's a good wrestler, right? He's pretty good. He's pretty good at the wrestling thing. And obviously Kingston is gonna win this match, but where's this match gonna happen? Because is this the Wrestle Kingdom match? Eddie Kingston and Gabe Kidd? Is this gonna happen on AEW TV or Ring of Honor TV? Like, where's this match gonna happen at? Because I don't think they're running another show in America until the Battle in the Valley show, right? In February, I believe. So they're just gonna drag this Gabe Kidd Eddie Kingston feud all the way out till February, with not a lot of shows in between, because New Japan doesn't run shows weekly. They run shows sporadically throughout the year. They do tours from time to time. So I don't know. I mean, I like this Eddie Kingston and Gabe Kidd feud because they're both really good talkers and they're both really aggressive. But I just don't know where this is gonna end up at. I'm very curious about that. I think that feud has a lot of potential. Next, we have some Wrestle Kingdom implications. David Finlay, Kenta of Bullet Club versus Jon Moxley and Wheeler Yuta of the Blackpool Combat Club. So Finlay's making his entrance, and there's a fan sitting front row who's obviously intoxicated as fuck, and he's wearing a Bullet Club gold shirt, and he's just sitting there shit talking David Finlay wearing a Bullet Club gold shirt, telling him guns up, and Finlay's just looking at this guy like he wants to kill him. That shit was hilarious, bro. The best part of the show right there. That shit was fucking hilarious. Because everyone just shits on Finlay and his version of Bullet Club, which to me is not fair because nobody gave Jay White a chance when he became Bullet Club leader. They just thought Bullet Club was dead and all this other shit. And these people are having the same energy towards David Finlay. All I'm saying is, look how Jay White turned out. Okay? Every leader of this group has gone on to do great things. No matter what company they go to. So, listen, Gedo trusts Finlay. Gedo has trusted AJ Styles. Ghetto's trusted Kenny Omega. Ghetto's trusted Jay White. Now he's trusting David Finlay. Listen, Ghetto's 3 for 3 in terms of Bullet Club leaders, okay? 3 for 3, okay? Give Finlay a chance. That's all you got. It hasn't even been a year yet, guys. February would be a year that one full year that David Finlay has been Bullet Club leader. And I'm just gonna be I'm a fan. I like the additions of Kidd, Connors, and Maloney. Especially Connors and Maloney. Those two look fucking awesome together. They play off each other so well. The only issue that I've had under Finlay's Bullet Club era, well, there's two. There's two issues. The second one may not even be like a Finlay problem. It's probably just a New Japan problem. But the first problem to me is Alex Coughlin. Good wrestler. He's very strong. He could be the big man heater of the group. Okay, but there's just something missing about the guy. I can't put my finger on it. I just can't. There's something that Alex Coughlin just needs, and I don't know what that is, but if he can find out whatever that is, I'd be on board, because I like that promo he cut during the G1 press conference. He's talking about the sacrifices he's made and the merchandise stuff, the issues that he had or whatever. I really like that, and I really vibed with that. But there's just something missing with Coughlin for me. I don't know if it's just his gear or like that mustache or his eyes or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just his whole present presentation. I don't know. It's not like his whole presentation just doesn't scream Bullet Club to me. I just don't know. And the second issue is Ace Austin and Chris Bay aren't getting booked in Japan. They're not. They were skipped in the Best of Super Juniors tournament earlier this year. They were passed on in the Super Junior Tag League that just happened. We haven't seen them in any New Japan shows this year. We need Ace Austin and Chris Bay in Japan. Okay? They listen, that Multiverse United show where it was Austin and Bay and Coughlin and Connors and Kenta and Finley, and they won that match and they all posed together in the ring. That shit looked good. I have that picture on my phone. They look good together as a faction. Please give Ace Austin and Chris Bay more opportunities in Japan, please. Thank you. So stop shitting on David Finlay, guys. Stop it. He's doing a good job. But as far as a match, I was very interested on who gets pinned here because A, you can't pin Finlay, can't pin Moxley. Kenta's a big name, but he eats a lot of pins, and Yuta's Yuta. He eats a lot of pins, so I was just interested on who eats the pin, and it turns out Kenta eats the pin because Moxley counters the GTS into a Death Rider, pins him 1, 2, 3. Yuta and Moxley win, and as far as the match goes, this is pretty good. Nothing really to complain about. Moxley gets the win and has momentum towards Wrestle Kingdom. And as the way things go, I think it's clear as day that David Finlay is winning that match at Wrestle Kingdom. There's no way in hell that Ospreay is winning that. And would you put a new belt on a guy who's not contractually obligated to your company? So to me, it's pretty obvious that Finlay's winning that match at Wrestle Kingdom. Seal, sign, deliver that one. Next, we have Mike Bailey and Zack Sabre Jr. for the New Japan World TV Championship. Best match of the night by far, in my opinion. I was really interested to know if Bailey can work a Zack Sabre Jr. match because I watch Speedball every week on Impact. He's one of my favorite wrestlers there. Can he work a technical style? Because I've seen glimpses of it with his matches against Jonathan Gresham. Glimpses of it. But Zack Sabre Jr. is a true technical test. And I'm going to be honest. This match was way better than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a clash of styles, but Speedball really showed how diverse it could be. And I thought they worked really well together. I was surprised this match was booked, to be honest. Speedball still hasn't gotten his junior title opportunity. His 1v1 junior title opportunity, I should say. So hopefully we can get that down the line in Japan. But fantastic match. Sabre Jr. legitimately breaks Speedball's pinky to force him to tap out. Literally, if you looked at his pinky after the match was over, that shit was fucked. So good stuff there between these two guys. I would love to see this match again. Sabre's working an Impact show. The Final Resolution legitimately the last live event that Impact Wrestling is gonna do before they change over to TNA. Zack Sabre Jr. is on that show. I think it's him and Josh Alexander versus Sabin and Shelley in a tag match. Yeah, I don't know why that match is happening, but hey, we get Zack Sabre Jr. on Impact. So I would love these. Hopefully, these two can run it back in TNA. Who knows? Semi-main event, we had Mayu Iwatani versus Stephanie Vacquer. Now, if you guys watched my the Vegas show review I did, I'm a big fan of Vacquer. I think Stephanie is great. She's probably one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. She's really good. I want her to get a spot somewhere on TV because she's too good to be just stuck down as CMLL. She needs to be on TV somewhere. She's that good, in my opinion. And Mayu, listen, a lot of people love Mayu. I'm not one of them. She's good, but there's nothing there to me that just captures me. But I will say this: they had a good match. They had an excellent match, excellent women's match. And I was kind of hoping they would do a title change. That's just me being greedy. I don't know, but Mayu wins with a moonsault. She beats Vacquer. So what's next? What's next for the IWGP Women's Championship? You know, New Japan doesn't have a women's division. They specifically just made this belt for Stardom, I guess. Because this belt is hardly ever defended in a New Japan ring. Hardly ever. So, I don't know what's next for Mayu, but I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. And I hope we get to see Stephanie Vacquer again soon, somewhere. She's pretty good. Main event time. Trent Beretta versus Shingo Takagi. After Takagi beat Tama Tonga for the title in Vegas, got a Trent Beretta video package to set up this match. And, you know, there's no feud here or anything like that. Just an open challenge, which we see a lot nowadays on as far as wrestling goes. But it is a never open weight championship. Championship designed to wrestle anybody of any weight class. Japan's big on weight classes. And Trent just Trent's very good, but all this guy does is lose, man. Like, he puts on good matches, but he never wins anything. This reminds me of Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe has good matches, but he just never wins anything. He can never win a big important match, and that's just how I feel about Trent. He's very good, but this man, all he does is lose. All he does is lose. And he lost again. Shingo beat him in a long, physical back and forth match. Shingo is just on another. Him and Ospreay have just took over this year as far as in ring quality. And I want to see what. I mean, this belt is perfect for Shingo because when he came in, when he joined LIJ, this dude was a junior. And now he's been wrestling with the heavyweights. This is a perfect belt for him. He can literally wrestle and mesh well with any weight class. So this is the perfect belt for him. And I hope he can do something with this belt because I'm just going to be honest. Nobody has had a good, never open weight championship run in a long time. This belt gets hot potatoed more than any belt that I think I've ever seen, besides the 24/7 belt. But I really hope this run that Shingo's about to have is a good one, and he's off to a good start with Shingo. I mean, not with Shingo, with Trent, I should say. My bad. My apologies. After the match, Tama Tonga comes out, asks for a rematch at Wrestle Kingdom. Shingo accepts. So there we go. For the never open weight championship at Wrestle Kingdom, Tama Tonga gets his rematch against Shingo Takagi. There's a lot of speculation about Tama Tonga and his contract status. I hope he stays in New Japan because And he's just fine in Japan. As far as the Wrestle Kingdom match, well, I'm gonna just say this: their match in Vegas was a banger. These two guys are running it back on a bigger stage. We ain't ready for it, man. We ain't ready for it. So that was the New Japan Lone Star Shootout event in Garland, Texas, just outside of Dallas. Pretty okay show. A lot of storylines advanced. A lot of bad shit. And we shall see. I believe the next New Japan show will be World Tag League, I think. November 20th, so that's in 7 days. We're going to get the start of the World Tag League tournament. I will be here to cover that. So if you guys want to keep up with World Tag League and the standings, etc., just make sure you guys look out for the channel. And I will see you guys for the next review, which will be Collision. Peace.